Lesson 6, applications with fractions. And we're going to get started on section 2.3. And this is on page 108. And we're going to look at problem number 99. And here we have community service. You are required to contribute 20 hours of community service to the town in which your college is located. After you have contributed 12 1/4 hours, how many more hours of community service are still required of you? Okay, so here we have required, and we're required 20 hours. And so far, we've contributed $12 1/4 hours. How many more hours of community service are still required? Okay, so the main thing here is, well, first of all, what is it that we need to do? What operation? Subtract, right. We're required 20 hours, and we have done 12 1/4. So we need to subtract. Well, let's go ahead and put this over here. Make it a little bit bigger to see. Okay, now, can we just go ahead and subtract it just the way we have it?
No.
Okay, what do we need to do first?
20 over 1?
Yeah, we have to borrow, right, from the 20, and now that makes it what? 19. And now the fraction part of the number is going to be, yeah, we look at our number, our denominator of the other fraction, and we have to have that denominator, right? We have to have the same denominator here as we do with our second number. So that makes it a 4. But since we're borrowing from the 20, that's a whole 1, we have to make it 4 over 4. Okay, so we always look at that, the denominator of the other fraction to see, what we're going to put there. Now we can go ahead and subtract, right? 4 minus 1, okay, and that's going to give us what? 3 over 4, right. And then 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay, and so we have 7 3/4, and what's our units? Hours, right, remaining. And that's our answer. Okay? Any questions with that? Okay, on the next question, problem 100, we have horse racing. We have the 3-year-olds in Kentucky Derby run 1 1/4 mile. The horses in the Belmont Stakes run 1 1/2 mile. Then they run 1 3/16 mile. In the Preakness Stakes, how much farther do the horses run in the Kentucky Derby than the Preakness Stakes? And then it also asks how much further do they run in the Belmont Stakes than in the Preakness Stakes? Okay, so to start with, it helps to write down what we know. Okay, we have the Kentucky Derby. It is 1 1/4 mile. They run 1 1/4 mile. Let me make this a little bit bigger. And Belmont, I'll just write Belmont here instead of Belmont also run 1 3/16 mile. Let's see, horses run, Belmont runs 1 1/2 mile, and they run 1 3/16 mile in the Preakness. Okay, so the 1 3/16 mile, that's for the Preakness Stakes. How much farther do the horses run in the Kentucky Derby than in the Preakness Stakes? So I'm just going to put KD for Kentucky Derby here. So we have the Kentucky Derby. We want to know how much further do they run in the Kentucky Derby than in the Preakness. Okay, so what do we do?
Just have
but-
to add and then divide, subtract. You'd add
Well-
the two.
Well, let's see. We have how much farther do the horses run in the Kentucky Derby,
So
which
we
they run
subtract.
they run 1 1/4 mile in the Kentucky Derby, and they run 1 3/16 mile in the Preakness. And we want to know how much further the horses in the Kentucky Derby run than in the Preakness. Yeah, we subtract. That's right. So Kentucky Derby is 1 1/4 mile, and the Preakness Stakes, they run 1 3/16 mile. And we already said that we're going to subtract. Well, can we subtract the way we have it now?
No.
Okay, we need a common denominator, right, which is going to be what? 16, right? So that means we have to multiply the 1/4 by 4 over 4, right? Because 4 times 4, that'll give us 16. But we can't just multiply 4, right? We have to multiply 4 over 4. Okay, so that's going to give us 1, and then that'll be 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, and then the other one we just carry that over. 1 3/16. Okay, now when we go to subtract, we're going to get what for an answer?
1/16.
1/16, right. And that's 1/16 what? Of a mile, right. Okay, so are we done with this problem? Okay, no, we have to, well, this part we are, right, but we have another question that we have to answer. It also asks how much farther do they run in Belmont than in Preakness Stakes. Okay, so what are we going to do this time?
Subtract the Preakness State from Belmont.
Right, subtract the Preakness Stakes from Belmont. Okay, so I'll just put BEL for Belmont, and that's 1 1/2, and Preakness, we're again using 1 3/16, and we're subtracting.